Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger. So there was a new Kombat Kast for Mortal Kombat 11, and in that Kombat Kast we learned there's a lot more stuff coming to Mortal Kombat 11. So we have a balance patch incoming. We got third competitive variations for every single character in the game. This will also include upcoming characters like Terminator will also have a third variation as well. We also have some new single player stuff. So in this video I'm just going to break down everything we have learned. So to quickly go over here, the single player stuff, for the Towers of Time, there's going to be another tower, and they've kind of redone how everything is. So every tower has a designated goal, like we have here the Premier Tower, so that's where the fancy stuff will be. Everyone will be clearly listed what's going to be there, and also everything in the crypt, you know, when it says unlocks in Tower in Time, it'll tell you exactly what tower it unlocks in. Also, so we also have the other single player slash multiplayer mode added. It's kind of like the co-op boss rush in Towers, except you're all fighting the boss all at the same time. Whatever the challenge is, you're all going at exactly the same time. I think it's actually mildly interesting. You all have things like, hey, if you have a dragon challenge, you all have to complete it or none of you get the bonus, right? And the bonus can be you get armor or something like that. Any damage you deal to the enemy will also be dealt on your other friends' sides. Any damage, say if the enemy heals something, right? It heals on their side as well. So it is very much a cooperative effort in just beating up the enemy. Single player stuff, not as much for me, but I do think this is kind of legitimately neat. So now let's talk variations. Everyone's getting a third competitive variation, and not only are they getting it, they're changing how a lot of the moves work. Shang Tsung up first here, this is the first one they showed. Hey, the ninja moves, he got them, right? And you say, well, there was a problem because, hey, there's 4 ninja moves and there's only 3 slots, right? Well, that's the change. So a lot of abilities are getting changed up to make them more in line with competitive balance. So the ninjas now are just a single 3-point ability, and it gives you all 4 ninja moves rather than each ninja move being its own single point ability, right? So now, if you just pick this one single point ability, and once again, of course, it'll be the third competitive variation, you now have access to all 4 ninja moves. Now, having access to all 4 ninja moves means he only has one base special, which will be the Screaming Skull special. But other than that, you have access to Ermac, you have access to Rain, you have access to Reptile, and you have access to Smoke. You have them all in one variation now. So, in the course of this video, I'll be going through everything they showed. Also, they mentioned some without showing it, so I'll be splicing in my own footage of generally what it looks like. Now, keep in mind, since they are willing to change these moves, what you see in the splicing in footage could be something else entirely come the patch, right? I don't know, but I will show you everything they did talk about. Moving on to Frost, so another move she got here in her third competitive variation is the dive bomb move, and once again, the frames, everything, it is different. It is not the move it is currently right now if you were to put it in a custom slot. So that is a different move. Also, her ice augers are now different as well. So before they're like kind of like semi-tracking. So now your basic shot, no enhancement, is just a high, no tracking, no nothing, right? And if you enhance the second shot, it'll come in at a lower angle and it is a true mid. So once again, for balance reasons, they're going to be changing a lot of these moves, and I'll probably say that many times over the course of this video. And also, the core overload completely reworked. Yeah, it still makes certain moves do more damage. That's still fine. But at the end of it, if it goes off, it will actually now freeze the enemy. Now, it is a blockable freeze, so you're not going to get frozen for nothing, right? But now this helps her pressure game, so if she wants to go off, and then, hey, you get a free freeze, right? So the enemy has to block, or they might get frozen, that kind of stuff. If you get hit, the buff goes away, so don't get hit. Moving on, Johnny Cage gets his classic fireballs back, so the semi-small arc and the big arc. So these are moves that have been changed quite a bit, because the arcs were wild before, right? So they're now much more usable. Also, the uppercut is part of this variation. Also, lightning quick comes out in 9 frames, so probably very useful as an anti-air, which is good, as all uppercut style moves should be. So yeah, basically playing like classic Johnny Cage here, uppercut, and his more traditional style force balls. So Jax gets his rush punch string, and it's been tweaked a bit. So the rush punch string now can end in either an overhead or a high. So if it ends on a high, it's plus on block, so hey, it's your turn again, but once again, because it's a high, it's deductible. But since it's deductible, you can go for the overhead, thus, you know, hey, there's the mind game, right? Also has the new enhanced ground pound, the one that launches. They didn't state if they're going to make it any easier to combo into, but since they're changing a lot of moves, I gotta assume they are. So the third and final move is the clap. So the clap doesn't really do much by itself, but when your arms are fully heated up, it becomes an explosion and it launches. And so that's going to have a lot of combo potential. Mid-screen, not as much, but in the corner you can get some pretty silly stuff. Going to Sub-Zero. Hey, the freeze! It's there! It's finally here! It's not quite the Ice Clone, but, you know, it's a serviceable replacement, I guess. One thing, since they are changing a lot of the values in the move, I don't think it lasts as long as it currently does in the game right now before they patch it and put these moves in. But still, you can do a lot of fun stuff with it. It is what it is. You know, this style of move, it is pretty obvious its strengths, right? So you can do a lot with it. Also, this variation gets this ground pound here with the ice. So if I remember correctly, the enhanced version here, the pushback is pretty severe and mildly safe. They might change that, but if it is safe, then it gives you a safe 50-50, right? With the overhead into the enhanced version. So we'll see if that one gets some frame data changes. Liu Kang gets 3 new moves. He gets the teleport. So this he always had a teleport, in case he never looked at the move. So hey, now he's got a teleport. He also has a command grab. Now this command grab is a high, and I don't think they're going to be changing that. But just so you know, one of the fun things about this command grab is you can actually choose which side it lands on, left or right. So that's kind of a big deal. And he has nunchuck stance. So nunchuck stance, if you're not aware, has an overhead and a low option, so plenty good for mix-ups. And they will also let you go into the command grab from the nunchuck stance. So this actually has the potential to be pretty interesting. I know you don't have low fireball and all that kind of stuff, right? But you have overhead low mix and a command grab, and plus the teleport just to be overall annoying. So hey, that sounds pretty decent to me. He did have a little bit of a nerf, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video. So for Kitana, one universal buff she got is across all variations. Air Fan now can be enhanced, so you drop down really quick. So hey, new combo structures. Because once again, hey, this patch is going to have buffs, right? And nerfs too for some characters. So this is something that's just universal across the board, so it'll help her combo potential. So what's new in the variation she got? So she got the Fan NATO, so this is the one that goes all the way across the screen. So this is going to be amazing for winning projectile trades. So you do it, they do something, you get hit, they get hit, but they're still in the thing, so you can smack them. Also, low fan is now a thing. A lot of people wanted low fan very badly. Hey, now you got a variation that's going to be able to use it. So low fan actually is a true low. You have to block it low, as you can see here. So no stand blocking, none of that fun stuff. You got to block it low. And so yeah, her zoning is just going to be a lot better overall in this variation because she has a strong zoning option. She has a strong counter zoning option. Also has this, which I can't for the life of me remember, but it's a move that alters her jump arc in the air, and those kind of moves are very strong historically in fighting games. So yeah, pretty cool variation overall. For Kung Lao, he got the great Kung Lao moves. If you remember, some time ago I made a video calling for exactly that, and not only did he get the moves, they're buffed, they're faster than they were before. So this is all the better yet. So he gets all the fancy stuff the great Kung Lao can do here. They're showing off the basic projectile, the ground pound, the up air shot, all that cool stuff. Also, he gets a vortex. So this is an unused move, and they're changing it up here. So the longer it's held, the bigger tornado is gonna be. So that has a lot of combo potential, all that fun stuff. So man, I honestly gotta say, I am stoked for this specific Kung Lao variation. I wanted Great Kung Lao so bad, and now we're gonna get it, plus a little bit of a bonus. So Erron Black, the bear trap is back. He finally has it in the base moveset. I was honestly kind of shocked it wasn't in the base moveset to begin with. Also, the acid pour has been changed up. So this is the non-enhanced version, as you see right there. So there's no acid pour in the non-enhanced version. And if you do enhance it, then you'll see the animation. So that's what he's going to get in this variation. The bear trap has a lot of possibilities. I'm going to be actually very interested to see what people can pull off with that. Because that's just... that kind of move's not really in the game yet as far as competitive variations go. So, I don't know. There's a lot of potential shenanigans to be pulled from that. Now, for the rest of this video, they did mention some other variations, but didn't show them. And they didn't necessarily even say every single move in the variation, but I'm just going to quickly show you everything that was briefly mentioned and go from there. So once again, all these moves are subject to change, and they might not work the way they work currently when the patch hits, right? But just to give you an idea. So once again, these are all subject to change here, because not every move is going to work the exact same way once the patch happens, because it's going to alter a lot of them. And also, I'm just going by what they said, and they didn't seem sure on a couple of things they said. So if it doesn't wind up being in the patch, hey, don't blame me, because I'm just don't shoot the messenger, right? So let's start with Nightwolf here. So first and foremost here, he's going to have the lightning arrow, which is this guy here. It's more damaging than the base arrow. Also is a mid, meaning you cannot duck it. So this potentially can really help his long-range game. Also, as you see here, it's a little over 9%, so that's very handy. Also, the Spirit, I believe it's called Spirit Track here, the low here. And I would assume then if you're going to do that, you're going to take the enhanced version that launches. Now, one thing that will probably be changed is like, hey, this is a combo, right? But the launch part is so slow that's not a combo. So I would imagine that's going to get changed up a fair little bit. But if it works the way it should work, hey, I think this would be a pretty good variation for Nightwolf. So, Kollector, the only thing they mentioned is the chakram. Now, speaking of moves that get changed, this one might get nerfed. This is Kollector's best move by a lot, and that's why it's not in tournament variation. It's basically just Bola, but better, faster, stronger in like every possible regard. Heck, you can even combo into stuff you couldn't combo into before. Like back 2-3 is not normally something you can combo Bola into, right? So you'd always have to just settle for Shotel Fury, right? But now with Chakram, you get a full combo, and his damage was already buffed pretty significantly, and this would only up his damage even more to like some of the highest damage in the game off basic B&Bs, right? So this one might be nerfed. I don't want it to be nerfed. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it to be nerfed, right? But this one might be nerfed because Chakram is stupid good. If Chakram is put in the way it is right now, even the few remaining Kollector deniers that are out there, they finally got to admit he's a good character. For Geras, all he said was the time rewind move. Now, he already has that in one of his comparative variations, so I'm assuming maybe they mean the one that can manipulate the clock. Unfortunately, they were not very specific about it, but that's my guess. So for Kabal, they stated the hook grab, which is this guy right here, and the gas blast. And that's regular gas blast, so that means not the aerial one that lets you jump around like you're playing Dragon Ball FighterZ or Marvel vs. Capcom. I'm very sorry to say. I didn't make a video on that very specific variation, and that's not the one we're getting. So that's 2 of 3 slots. They didn't mention what the third one will be, but hey, this is the one we're going to get. Cassie, so it's some interesting stuff here. First up here, they're going to get the projectile bounce move. That's this guy here. And that's aimable, just so you know. It has a very odd angle, but you know, odd angles are the best angles to attack from in fighting games, so that's really good. She will get her shadow kick. That's that guy right there. So probably solid combo ender. Plus, you know, if you're being a little too slow on the take here, good like neutral whiff punch, that kind of stuff. Also, she's gonna get her up drone here. This guy. So very similar for NRS like Cyborg and Injustice, or say Spencer, the Bionic Commando in Marvel vs. Capcom. So it gives her all sorts of wackadoodle ways to just go up in the air and that kind of fun stuff. So potentially a very interesting variation. So for Kano, people are going to be very happy with this. This is heavily requested. So first up here, behold, Optic Blast. So it'll be the Optic Blast Fireball here, and this is a mid, so no ducking it, none of that fun stuff here. This is a classic move here, 5%, you know, so it's whatever, and it can enhance it, but still, a solid all-around projectile. And the big one is, yo, Snakebite. So Snakebite, well, what's the big deal here? So first up, there's an overhead at the end, but, you know, a second hit, so you have to be asleep at the wheel to get hit by it, let's say that. But yeah, you can enhance it, and yo, you get a bounce, and then you can combo from the bounce. I can't, because I don't play Kano, and I'm messing it up real bad here. But whatever, you know, I don't play Kano. But what the idea here is, yo, you can combo after it. It's a regular combo starter like most of the characters in the game have normally without having to burn a variation move on it. But Kano, he can do it now. No side switching like the other variation. Just straight up, you get your move here, you get your follow-up, you get the bounce, and hey, there we go. I finally comboed, right? And there's a dog barking, which I'm not going to edit out. But yeah, so he gets the combo like a regular person. So for Cetrion, what was mentioned is she's going to have her move that gives her a random elemental circle. So this move here is going to be, you know, fire, earth, water, that kind of stuff here. And it's going to be different every time, and you get buffs in the circle. You know, they get debuffed in the circle here. The win one, as you can see, pushes them out, that kind of stuff here. Effectively hexes the wall as well. And just a lot of interesting stuff. I don't know too much about this one, to be honest with you, right? And the fact it's random, well, hey. Random, it can work in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't, right? But still, this is a wildly different move than what she normally has to play around with, so hey, could be cool. Noob Saibot, I'm sure you guys are going to be happy because, hey, it's Sickle Snag! I've always said he never really needed it because he already had enough combo potential, but hey, it exists now. So if you're one of those people hoping for a Sickle Snag, hey, now you got it, and you definitely will get even more combo potential than usual on top of Sickle Snag. The old, I don't even know what you call this move here. Well, I guess I know what you call this move, because it's Sickle Toss. But it's like kind of like a big old Noob Saibot like dive bomb, where you toss your clone out. It is an overhead, controls a lot of screen. You can also aim where it goes, as you can see here. Also is enhanceable into a launch, into more combo stuff. So you could get this and then go into like a Sickle Snag and just go to town, right? So if you wanted your combo heavy variation, yo, you got it. So Shao Kahn, a very spear-based variation. That only covers 2 of the 3 moves, though. We have the up spear and the spear charge. So spear charge, as it stands right now, because I played around with it, it kind of sucks. So I expect this move to be buffed, be a lot better. It actually struggles to combo from certain strings, unlike Shadow Charge. Shadow Charge is faster, better in pretty much every regard, right? You can enhance it and then get a bit of a follow-up where he does a sick like commando roll here. And the up spear is, yeah, it's the up spear. It's a 9 frame here, so quite quick here, so probably just mostly just better than Scum Grab for anti-air, especially because the EX follow-up is a bounce here, so we get a lot more from it. So very good for combo potential, just both of them overall. Once again, I'm pretty sure Spear Charge will get buffed, because once again, Shadow Charge is just basically better than it. But yeah, that's where it stands right now. They didn't mention the third move, because each one's only 1 slot, but we'll see where it goes. But potentially a pretty good variation for him, especially because Up Spear is definitely one of the better moves. Kotal Kahn will be getting 2 more totems. Didn't state which one. He does have 4 totems to choose from. So I just picked the attack totem and the defense totems. I don't know which ones it's going to be. He already has the healing totem, so it won't be that, just so you know. So 2 totems. So interesting enough. And also the Enhanced Sun Disc. Now, Enhanced Sun Disc kind of really sucks. Like, no bones about it. So I expect this move to be changed quite a fair bit. Now, they even did something that's basically like this. Like, Enhanced Sun Disc is now a launcher. So you go for it and they make it quicker, something like that, I don't know. And you could get a juggle off it. I could see it being a lot better. As it stands, this move is bad. There's no other way to put it. This move is bad, right? But once again, since moves are getting buffed, it could be better. So let's be cautiously optimistic. So for Jade, they did mention 2 things here, so no 3rd slot just yet, but she'll be getting her teleport, which is a hit on the hands. Also, if you don't enhance it, just bonk some low, just so you know. And also her reflect. So no more, the projectiles going through you, right? This replaces that. So the reflect just sends fireballs back to their sender. Also, if you enhance it, it is a launcher, just so you know, so you get a little bit of combo potential after it. Although, if they want that to actually work in the middle of a combo, they're going to have to change it and make it a lot faster than it is. For Sonya, simply put, hey, it's Dronya. So she can summon her little buddy, and it's going to have all the various moves the little buddy has. And it's going to be quite an interesting variation, because I actually think it's going to be a very good one. That'll very much supplement her already very strong basic game plan. For Scorpion, yo, hey, he's got the air grab. That's pretty interesting. Now let's just cut to the chase, right? Yo, he has Misery Blade. I know a lot of people are very crazy for Misery Blade in all its forms here. So, hey, Misery Blade is here, and it's going to be back primetime live. So if you were a Misery Blade fan, hey, it's going to be back. And hopefully you're very happy, because I know a lot of people wanted it. So for Raiden, he's going to be getting the Joe push. That's this guy here. And this replaces his basic lightning strike, just so you know. It's a decent poke. It's a mid. You can actually make it safe on block from a distance to make it a good poke. Once again, all these numbers are subject to change. And if you enhance it, yo, it's a launcher. Now, depending on where you enhance it, as you can see here, if you do it from far away, you can get it kind of the same side. And if it's a little further out, it'll switch sides. But it's a launcher, and so it's pretty decent for that. You also get to see Lightning Rod here. So Lightning Rod's interesting in that it kind of redirects lightning moves. So as you can see here, so my channel, my direct lightning strike is hitting the rod and then hitting the foe afterwards. And you can aim it in multiple directions, all kind of fun stuff. Since Joe Push replaces Lightning Bolt, the base one, you actually lose some utility on it, which is weird, but maybe they'll rework it. So for Skarlet, a little bit ago I made a video detailing what I would like out of the 3rd variation for Skarlet, and I might have got it, I'm not quite sure. So we got Boiling Point. Boiling Point is an aimable move, and it does a lot of base damage, so very interesting in that regard. And it said Boiling Point and 2 buffs. So we have Red Rain here. Red Rain, as you can see here, it's a damage buff, and we went over it in the other video. We also have Red Mist, which is sort of a buff. As it's like a DOT buff, right? So it's either that or it's going to be like Red Rain and the damage shield, which kind of stinks, and I don't want it, so I'm just kind of hoping against hope it is Red Mist and not the damage shield. But we'll see, I guess. So there you have it. So we now know a lot of what's going to be coming for the variations. Now, for the balance patch stuff here, we know like Liu Kang Forward 4 is getting nerfed. It's going to be 2 frames slower. Jax's Fatal Blows are high. Katana has like a new move, and that could be a lot of stuff across the board. They said it won't be as big of a balance patch change as it was for the original balance patch we had just after Evo. But just keep in mind, you know, people are going to be getting stuff, and some people are getting nerfed, and some people are getting buffs. As for the third variations, we don't have a full look on everyone, but we have a pretty good idea now. Some of them are very exciting and can add a lot, and some, they're a little ho-hum, but still, very interesting stuff, and it's going to be a very interesting time for Mortal Kombat in the very near future. What with more balance changes, all these new variations, adding a third way to play a character, and of course, Terminator's coming as well, right? So, cool stuff. Check the channel because, of course, I'll be covering all of it. Personally, glad the patch didn't drop today. A little editorial note because, you know, we got to do the Gogeta stuff for Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I don't want to pass out because it'd be too much stuff for me to do. But yeah, so that's it for now. That's it for this video, my friends. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Mortal Kombat.